Yes.
Yes, God.
Yes, go on.
Yes, God.
Yes.
Hey guys, and welcome back to this shit.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It, where
Let
we talk about it so you don't have to. So shut the fuck up.
or continue the conversation by telling us what you liked or didn't like about the episode. I don't know.
Or not.
Or
Shut
not.
up.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Just kidding. We love you all, babies.
Hey, I'm Connor.
Hey, I'm Kylen.
And wow.
This is
How do we start an episode? It's been a week longer than we usually get these out.
yeah, true. So, we're out of practice, I guess.
And we've also been spending the last 24 hours pretty much nonstop playing Smash. So
We've been smashing this whole time.
we've been smashing.
Please don't write fan fiction.
Apparently, fan fiction is like, and I don't know. I was going through Tumblr today. Rest in peace, Tumblr.
R.I.P.
Well, Kyle and I are like in good Catholic fashion crossing ourselves right now, which maybe we'll talk about in a little bit. Apparently, like I don't typically read fan fiction, but apparently, like most fan fiction is like, or not most fan fiction, but like a lot of like great fan fiction is like so much more better edited and written than a lot of published materials. And let me say, after skimming Heart of Darkness and like looking at a lot of Alexander Dumas, I believe it.
Yeah, like
Alexander Dumas and like James Patterson and everything. I don't.
that like Twilight stemmed no, not Twilight, excuse me.
Fifty
Uh
Shades.
50 Shades of Grey stemmed from Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
And let me say, as someone who has read fan fiction in the past, that I have read fan fiction that is much better than 50 Shades of Grey.
I've read My Immortal.
I've never actually read My Immortal. I've just seen the memes. But my God, what a trooper, what a veteran.
But like, I don't know. A lot of the stuff like My Immortal, which if you're the author of My Immortal, great on you because you made something that will withstand generations.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you wrote My Immortal.
But like 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight, they also were very popular and sold well, which I don't know, they might not be well written, but
Have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey or any of the books in the series?
I've read one page.
Oh.
And yeah, it was one of those pages.
See, I've never actually read it. I used to do this game in the bookstore whenever I was with my ex-boyfriend, where I would, anytime we were there and I found it, I would like flip open a page and start reading, and then he'd be like, Kylen, shut the fuck up. But I remember one time my mother was lecturing me on some shit that I did back whenever I was in high school. And I was kind of just like laying on the floor like a rebellious teen, like, yeah, whatever, mom. And I'm just like looking around from my vantage point on the floor, and I look under the bed, and underneath the bed is a copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh no!
So my mom is bitching my ass out, and I'm looking under the bed, and I'm like, okay, whatever, you little horn dog. Reading bad porn that you paid for. I can find better porn for free online.
You really can. Which, on that, this is what the episode is now. We had a couple of topics. This is what we're doing now.
Play some horny on Maine police sirens.
Cobra Connor is displaying the emote right now. It's great. Apparently, like, Pornhub is about to, like, start being a shelter for all of the NSFW and etc. art and fanfiction and everything. or at least they've offered that.
I mean, good on them. Like, Pornhub, low key, a good service. Like, have you seen the thing where they're like, Pornhub will plow your streets for free or whatever? Where
No,
they'll like go in and like plow the snow off of streets?
no, literally. Okay, so I know like two things about Pornhub. Um, number
One,
one,
you can beat your meat.
number one is whenever they did the April Fool's Cornhub.
Yes.
And number two, by the way, NSFW apparently for however long this tangent goes off on.
Put a corn warning up for people who aren't a fan of corn.
Yeah. And number two is whenever you could find, I don't know if they're still up there. I don't think I was ever able to find part one. But you could find the porn called Founding Fathers Get Freaky in the Bedroom, or Founding Fathers Get Naughty in the Bedroom.
Yes.
And it was just bootleg Hamilton.
Yes. Apparently, like, you can find bootleg B movie on Pornhub, just like a bunch of different things. I don't know. Honestly, if Tumblr's gonna go and be like a shitty little prude, good on Pornhub for expanding. Now is the time for social media sites to get more pornographic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not into most of it, but I don't really believe in censorship on the internet when it comes to like nudity and sexual content.
Yeah, no.
Violence and everything, yes, please shield my eyes because I really don't want to see that and everything. But apparently that's okay. And fucking make love, not war.
Yeah. Make lots of love. This is let's talk about an endorsement. Get your freak on.
Sex positivity. Nothing less here.
Sex positivity, violence, negativity.
So make sure you smash responsibly. But we've been playing a lot of Smash.
Oh my god, yes. To date this episode, Smash just came out not too long ago. Now, I don't have my own copy, but my boyfriend, TSB, does. And we have been smashing all night long.
Ooh, tell me more. Let's talk about
it. Hey, let's talk about it. So, I have been a long-time Smasher ever since the 64 version of Smash. And I have loved every iteration of Smash. I am no Smash snob. Anytime you want to smash, I'm down to smash with whatever version you want to smash. So, well, there is some versions that I prefer a little more than others, but I'm not too picky. So we have been playing all night, unlocking characters, because if you're not familiar with the new Smash, although it has the biggest roster yet, they start you off with the original Nintendo 64 roster, which is like 8 characters, I think.
Yeah. They also kept the 4 unlockable ones for the N64 locked. And but you unlock everything randomly, it's gonna like you're probably gonna unlock some of the newcomers before you ever unlock some of the original 64 stuff. Like I had like most of the roster unlocked before Luigi ever showed up.
Yes. You have to work your bitch ass up from the bottom with this game. So I haven't had, just because, this isn't my own copy and we were just, doing regular Smash all night. We had a chance to unlock like several characters, probably no more than 10, but probably around there just tonight because there's so many characters they unlock at such a frequency. But, it's a ton of fun. Like, there's more stuff to do than ever. Like, all the characters from the previous games, plus some. All the stages from old games, maybe plus some. Have they added?
It's not all of the ones from previous stages, but it's a lot of them. They did add some. New Donk City, the Dracula Castle.
Okay.
All of those are new.
Okay.
Specifically, they got rid of like the Metroid and the Star Fox one from the original, just because Brinstar and Corneria were better versions of those.
Okay.
They got rid of the Pac-Man stage from 3DS, which everyone is very mad about because Pac-Land got in.
Mm.
But the other like horizontal or vertical scrollers, like the Ice Climbers for Melee, Rumble Falls for Brawl, those are gone.
Those were bitches of stages anyway. But yeah, all items plus some new ones. Like this is the biggest fucking Smash game yet, and you know,
One could say it's the ultimate Smash.
One might say that. Huh. Call the Nintendo executives now. I have a great idea. But no, it's just, as a longtime fan of the series, like, I don't know, they're always fun. I never have any complaints. I'm not a super serious Smash player. I'm a casual player for sure.
Same.
I love the stage hazards. I love all items. If I wanted to play a serious fucking fight game, I would play one. But Smash is my fun fucking party game where I just want to like let loose and have a crazy time with my friends. Like I don't care about the serious strats. Now, if that's how you want to play it, I don't care. But this is just me.
Yeah, I mean, to each all their own.
Yes.
But we're here for memes.
We're here for memes and good times. So, Connor, whenever you play Smash, who do you like to main?
Well, I actually have unlocked everybody.
Yes.
Because
yes.
I spent pretty much none of my free time over the past couple of days. I've played classic mode with.
Is that the strat to unlock everyone so quickly?
No, that's just what I wanted to do. The strat is to like do to like suicide on or self-destruct, on one stock, and then get the challenger, and then beat him up, and then restart your game, and do that over and over and over again. I never got that to work, so I was just like, you know what? I like classic mode, and at the end of classic mode, someone shows up.
Yeah.
And then I can just keep doing that with every character. And then I'll just like finish classic mode with everybody, which is an achievement in and of itself. And while I do that, eventually I'll have everybody unlocked.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. And it took a while. It felt kind of grindy, but like even still I was experiencing like every character's like little map, which all of them were different. Whenever you unlock Wolf, his thing is like fighting everybody who was cut from Smash and got back in. So you fight Ice Climber, Young Link, Pichu, everybody who did get cut and then came back for Smash.
Yeah, the classic mode is super individualized in this game.
Yeah. Bayonetta has you fighting like a whole bunch of like angels or like people who stand in for the angels for Bayonetta. Like you fight specifically I was thinking of like Charizard turned white, which sort of stands in for some of the like dragon type angels you fight in that game, which if you want to get the OG of the Cybrwulf channel, go back and watch the Bayonetta streams. They are horrible.
Retro fucking memes! Exclamation point, Mercury.
Do you ever wonder about my complicated relationship with Mercury? Go back and watch the Bayonetta 1 stream.
Mercury is always in retrograde on your channel.
Oh boy, is it. But to answer your question, and going off on this tangent, my main is Bayonetta.
Yes, queen.
I love her. I think her moveset is wonderful, even though she has been nerfed a little bit from Smash.
Really? How so?
So like her Wicked Weaves, her actual Smash attacks, they don't do quite as much knockback or as much damage, which is probably good. And her Witch Time, now instead of just like trapping somebody in this slowed down state for forever, just like with any attack, it's now based off of what attack was sent at you. So like if someone hits you with a really hard Smash attack and you Witch Time it, they're going to be slowed down for a lot longer than if somebody just like threw a quick A jab at you.
Oh.
Which like if they do just like A jab you and you not wicked weave that, if you wish time that, they're only slowed down for like a couple frames. So you don't really have a lot of time to react. But all of her combos, all of her like shots and everything, most of those are still intact. So I can still jump right into the character. And it's been a lot of fun.
Don't you also main Zelda?
Zelda's been really good, and I want to go back into learn her again. I kind of stayed away with her in Wii U, just because she was a little underpowered. I think a lot of people were kind of disappointed with her. She's definitely a lot better in this game.
Yeah, from what I can tell in this game, she got buffed up.
Yeah, which rightfully so. Like, Zelda's a great character, and I think she deserves to have, a lot of power. The character that I've had the most fun character that I've had the most fun playing with, he's actually an Echo Fighter.
Oh?
Dark Samus.
Oh, yeah, you said you were going to join her from the beginning.
I did, and it took me so long to unlock her, but like, whenever she was announced, I was just like, fuck yes. Yas Queen. You are the alien parasitic life form that I've been needing in my Smash Brothers. Whenever I was playing Smash for Wii U, I would always choose the Dark Samus skin. I love it as a villain. This just like Phazon corrupted Metroid that uses your Phazon suit and like reconstructs itself and then becomes this. It's so. I just love it.
A bitch move. Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. But she plays, for the most part, like a floatier Samus, which I tend to like floatier characters because they tend to give me more time to react.
Better recovery.
Yeah, a little bit better recovery. I don't know. I just feel like I have more time to react, but I know against a good player, they're going to have more time to do their worst to me.
Good thing all of our friends suck.
But I've noticed that at least Game Explain is how I've been getting most of my Smash coverage, and they've been yelling a lot of the changes between the characters in the pre-release cycle, which has been great. Their channels were the highlight, or their weekly highlights were the highlight of my week, or at least my Saturday mornings, besides the Saturday morning D&D show.
Yes.
But apparently, like, Samus's dodge is like whenever she goes into her morph ball, but like she still can get hit or something like that. Apparently, it's a really stupid dodge, whereas Dark Samus actually like goes on the Z-axis and like actually dodges.
Eats back.
And that just makes her a better character. I'm not super into like all of the character versus character changes and everything. I just like Dark Samus. She's Samus, but dark.
I just think she's neat.
But not like edgy dark, but like Phazon infused Metroid clone of Samus in her suit that she stole from you at the end of Metroid 1 or Metroid Prime 1.
She just has the lore darkness.
And I love her. She's wonderful. It's wonderful. Metroid Prime is in it. I guess Metroid Prime is a she. I'm not sure.
Metroid Prime, like, comment, and subscribe. Your pronouns. Any other mains you have from this game?
K-Rool and Incineroar are both great.
I haven't gotten Incineroar yet, but Big Daddy King K-Rool is just hefty and fucking hits so hard, which is my brand of character.
Like, most of the heavy characters have the difficulty that their recovery game is weak. But K-Rool
does not. K-Rool recovery is better than some of the lighter characters. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, he's on. I went through classic mode to play with every character, and I think I can deal with all of them, except Pikmin and Olimar. I'm not good with Pikmin and Olimar. Pikmin management, not my strong suit.
Same, yeah.
And I don't know, it just seems like most of his attacks don't do anything if you don't have Pikmin.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh, so I just haven't been able to really shine with him. But like even Donkey Kong, who I was never good with, I was able to pick up in this game.
Yeah.
It really feels like everybody has been made somewhat accessible. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna win any tournaments with anybody. But at the very least, I can get by with playing everybody except Pikmin and Olimar. I don't understand what's going on.
Nope. Don't get it. Don't understand it. Destroy it. Burn it.
But who have you been really liking so far?
So, my main, ever since Brawl, and will continue to be my main because I love him, is Big Daddy Ike. And please, just fill the screen with hot pictures of Ike right now. Sober Connor, this is for you.
Right now, I'm thinking of one specific image that Sober Connor will pick up.
Okay, just hot, sexy Ike all over the screen. But yes, my main, my crush since like middle school, Ike from Fire Emblem. I have loved him ever since Brawl, because he hits hard as fuck without being too slow and too hindered in his movements. Just hits like a fucking Mack truck, no matter what he does.
See, I don't know. I kind of feel like he is still pretty slow.
Not compared to like some of like Bowser and like King K. Rool and some of the heavier Ganon.
Yeah, I guess it's like comparing him to the other Fire Emblem characters because out of all of them, he definitely is the slowest.
Okay, well, compared to the other Fire Emblem characters, yes. But he also hits hard as fuck. And those are the kind of characters I like, where I don't have to be concerned with doing more hits. I can do less hits and make those hits count. That is my play style.
You can do a Falco punch.
Yes, I am that's me. I'm the charge up for that one really hard fucking hit. But yeah, Ike has been my favorite for years and years and years. And he still is very good in this game. Other than Ike, a very long time favorite of mine, probably since the first game, has been Kirby. Just because I have mastered the fucking wombo combos for Kirby. My Kirby game is ridiculous.
I just spam down B.
Oh yeah, down B, come out of real quick with the up B, hit him with the side B. A just ridiculous Kirby game. Let's see, who else? Other than that, the characters I pick are usually to annoy our one friend, Pimp Zach. Like, honest to God, all the other mains I picked up were just to annoy Zach. And those mains would be King DDD, which my King DDD game is also ridiculous because he hits hard as fuck. Sonic?
Yeah, I spam up B with King DDD.
Oh my god, yes. Sonic, who I think got a low-key buff in this game.
I feel like it, yeah.
Like, his neutral B is definitely more powered up. His homing attack that he has, definitely more powered up. Pac-Man, I also main Pac-Man because it annoys Zach. Wario, I also main because it annoys Zach. But, anyone else? I think those are the main ones. Yeah, I picked up characters that annoy people. Just because, like I said, I'm not a super serious Smash player. I just play to mess around with my friends. Also, tiny bit Game & Watch, but only for the sausages.
Hot, fresh sausages. Hot sausages.
Oh my god. See, like I am personally so excited for the online friends only Smash. Just because in my current situation, I live pretty far away from most of my friends.
Yeah.
But the friends only lobby situation just is exactly what I wanted out of the game to replicate the IRL experience that I had before.
Yeah, it's so hard to do couch competitive or couch co-op whenever the couch spans across all the states.
The couch is so far away. And now we're like picking up friends from across the pond. So the couch is extending further.
Ah, my extended couch.
The world's longest couch.
Oh my gosh, can we please get the world's longest couch? That would make me so happy.
Is there a Guinness World Record for world's longest couch?
I have no idea, but Sober Connor's gonna find out.
Sober Connor, we're making you do so much already. I'm so sorry, but find the world's longest couch for us.
Put it in our abandoned frat house whenever couch people becomes a thing.
Yes. Yes, couch people.
Um, so yeah, have you actually finished Classic with Kirby?
No, I haven't played anything besides the regular Smash because, like I said, I don't have my own copy yet. So I'm
You
just playing.
can Classic competitive or Classic cooperative.
What? You can?
Mhm.
Oh, TSB is so fake. But no, I think he already did Classic with Kirby. Why do you ask?
I just really like how not every boss is Master Hand. A lot,
Yes.
but oh my gosh,
Like he was doing Luigi's Classic today, and then he was fucking fighting Dracula,
yeah.
which was hard as fuck.
The one who shooketh me was Kirby's.
Yeah, he didn't say who it was because he couldn't remember, but apparently Kirby's final boss is pretty creepy.
Yeah, his spoilers for Smash and also Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Spoiler,
Uh,
spoiler.
so Kirby's final boss is Marks, who in Milky Way Wishes in Superstar Ultra tricks Kirby into like going around and going to the Fountain of Dreams to wish for the sun and the moon to stop fighting. But Marks like knocks him out of the way and it's just like, I want to control Popstar.
But
I got you to do all this. Now I'm going to kill you.
but Karl Marx, why?
So yeah, so you had to fight communism as Kirby. And then he shows up in Star Allies as like your dream friend, and there's just like a lot of memes of like after what Marx did, no, kill him.
Destroy.
Marx has become that like iconic Kirby villain, but like actually a villain, not like Meta Knight and DD, where like sometimes most of the time they're on the same side. No,
Yeah.
Marx is evil.
Bad. Oh my goodness. I can't believe Kirby is a capitalist.
But they replicated the fight so well in the game. Like I didn't feel like I was playing Smash. I felt like I was just playing Kirby.
So you're like, oh shit, I'm doing this.
Which like it makes sense because I think Sakurai had a hand in bringing Marks about. Mm-hmm. I know he had a hand in bringing Kirby about, but I think Mark specifically maybe. It translated really well.
Yeah, TSB said the same thing about the Dracula fight. It was like, oh, this moveset is very similar. So, good job to the people who did all this. Yeah. Although there was from the little bits of Classic I saw, there were opportunities I think that were missed. Like, he was doing a Pikachu's Classic, and it has like a little Mewtwo fight, but then it goes to Master Hand, and I'm like, come on, I'm sure there's like some legendary Pokemon you could have put in there that wasn't being used.
I wish they would have just brought the Rayquaza fight from Melee.
Literally, Yeah, the one from Brawl. Literally, that's what I said. I'm like, there was a precedent here. Like, you could have plugged that bitch back in.
Yeah, it surprises me that out of all the Brawl bosses they could have brought back, Gallium was the one. Because I felt like I played Smash Subspace Emissary not too long ago on the stream as like
Yeah.
Gallium just seemed annoying.
Yeah.
Like cause you had to fight him twice. Like I thought that was
Yes, that bitch.
boring and repetitive, and I mean I'm glad
He's
that
like back to back too.
yeah, I'm glad that they brought back a boss from Brawl.
That bitch.
There was a lot of really cool bosses.
Oh my goodness.
You could have brought
Connor.
back. Yes. Hello.
To bring this a little off topic, but still on topic, what are you thinking about the first announced DLC character?
I did not see it coming.
We never saw it coming.
Oh my gosh. So I love Persona 5. And like whenever
context, real quick context. So the protagonist from Persona 5, colloquially known as Joker, has been announced for the first DLC character, which shook everyone, I feel like.
We have no idea how he plays right now because all we have is like the announcement trailer, which was done completely in the Persona 5 animation style. Which is great. That's how you need to announce that character. I felt like Persona, or asking for Persona to be represented in Smash was like representing Danganronpa in Smash. How the fuck are you going to get Monokuma in there? Like,
it's punishment time, bitch.
Yeah, it's punishment time. But Persona 5 was a triumph. Its stylistic achievements are, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I even remember back whenever Persona 5 was still being developed, they were just like, we didn't mean for this to be as stylized as it is, but we're not mad about it. And I don't think anybody is mad about it. Oh my gosh. But we've been fans of this series for a while. Like did you play Persona 4 before our time at the University of such and such?
I played it after our freshman year at the University of such and such. That summer, I played Persona 4. Yeah. I played through it twice that summer. That's how much I love Persona 4. I finished it and immediately started a new game.
Yeah, I feel like I should have, but I also missed a couple of things, so I didn't want to start a new game where I couldn't get everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I started with P3P. I got a Vita and immediately like started playing through Persona 3 while we were all watching Breaking Bad.
Oh yes.
Those were times. Everybody else was watching Breaking Bad and I was playing Persona 3. And I played Persona 4. And oh my gosh, it was so good. And then whenever Persona 5 came out, I remember Amazon fucked up and they gave me mine a day early.
Oh yes.
So I was able to get a head start on everybody, which is great because I was a very busy senior in my very last semester of college. And
so busy.
I needed a head start on everybody.
Oh yes.
Oof.
So listen.
It's so good.
I need to
that keeps coming in.
I need to very quickly take a break. So let's very quickly put in some break music. Make it Persona related, I guess.
Oof. I can do that.
All right.
Aria of the Soul. Go.
So break time. Woo! damn it.
The shadow of the true self.
Hey, so you know how like in Persona, like sometimes you fight gods?
I do know that.
So like speaking of gods,
Ooh.
let's talk about gods.
Do you want to get that like existential and everything? Or do we want to go back to D&D?
Let's talk about fake gods. Let's the D&D gods, just to
Let's talk about
clarify.
the D&D multiverse.
Yes, not to, this isn't a call out pose. We're just talking about D&D.
All right. Have you played any clerics?
The only time I've actually officially played a cleric was in the Lost Mines of Phandelver, where they had those pre-gen characters, and I played a dwarf cleric.
Reinhardt Rockseeker!
Yes, Reinhard Roxy. And I couldn't even pronounce the name of my god, and I wasn't entirely sure what he did, because it was my probably either first or second time playing 5e. So I was just like, whatever, I'm along for the ride. Let me just make fucking Reinhardt from Overwatch jokes. Like every time I hit someone with my hammer, I was like, hello! I was not a very serious D&D player back in the day, let me tell you.
We were all given pre-gen characters, so like we were all doing something with that. I was playing Gabriel Alexander von Kloin Klosowski DeMarco IV, who definitely didn't have any inspiration for that long-ass name. Definitely not with any other noble fighters.
Nope, not with any other sexy-ass nobles. At Percy, call me.
Ooh. But how do you feel about like the D&D guys in the multiverse? I don't really know how to start this conversation because I know last week, whenever we first did a pass for this episode, to go even further behind the scenes, you were just like, I want to talk about gods. I want to talk about the gods of the D&D multiverse. I didn't know how we were going to start that conversation.
Nope, me neither. It's very funny. It's funny because most of the characters that I play in D&D, like, okay. So to me, at least in my perspective, it's impossible to be an atheist in the D&D universe.
Yes.
In a universe where the influence of the gods is prevalent and everything. I don't think anyone could deny that without being just like an intelligence score of like 2.
There's one setting where you can do that.
Oh, is that like Dark Sun or
Eberron?
Oh, Eberron. Okay.
I don't think any of the gods are like present there. I think they do the Sovereign Six, and they have like the Church of the Flame and everything, but I don't think anybody there is actually like on speaking terms with the gods. People see that as like manifestations of power.
Yeah, from what I hear, Eberron's pretty separated.
Now we haven't played any Eberron.
Yeah, we haven't played any Eberron, but
so we're not entirely caught up on the lore. I know Jordan with the Silent PH, great guy, great channel and everything. He has put out a video about like Fates of Eberron. But like we just haven't experienced that for ourselves.
Yes. So in all the settings I play in, gods have played, a huge role. So it's very hard to make characters who are, just like, I don't believe in gods. But at the same time, I haven't made super religious characters, barring the one paladin that I play.
I love him.
Fucking Tyrell. But of course...
Now, I do want to interject, like, so you can't really make atheist characters like non-believers and everything. What about like god haters? So I'm specifically thinking of one NPC from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. My name's Elsie Godhater. I hate the gods, all gods. That's literally her character.
LMAO. I mean, I feel like that's totally possible because to hate something, you have to believe in it, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I have characters who are like kind of like apathetic to the existence of gods, which I think is totally fine and cool. And you could totally hate the gods as well, but to deny the existence of gods in most D&D settings is, to me, kind of silly. So as long as you acknowledge them in some way, I think is, that's all kosher.
Yeah.
And most of my characters are pretty kind of neutral towards the gods. Just kind of like, whatever. I don't know if that's just like my own personal beliefs coming into D&D characters. Maybe I'm not being creative enough in incorporating the gods outside of like paladin and cleric. There was one character I had who was a storm sorcerer where I was like casually referencing, oh yeah, she believes in Thor as a storm sorcerer and a sailor. But other than that, it's been pretty heavy-handed with the one paladin character I have. Just like, yeah, Bahamut. Oh, well, no, I did have a warlock who believed in the Raven Queen because that was her patron. But
yeah.
But recently I made 2 cleric characters, so maybe I'll actually, whenever I play cleric for real, I'll, cleric it up.
Okay. Do you want to talk about them or save them for a special occasion?
Let me see if I can even remember what I made them. Okay, so for one, I'll say, me, Kylen, personally, my favorite gods in the D&D multiverse are the gods or goddesses of luck and change. So
Okay.
Avandra and Tamora are my favorites.
Tamora and Avandra. Okay. What about Bajala? Bajala is like Forgotten Realms, and so I'm not sure if there's a lot.
So Avandra is within the Dawn War. Avandra's within the Dawn War pantheon, as within the Critical Role universe. She's known as the Changebringer. And Tamora is basically the same as Avandra, but it was more Forgotten Realms than Dawn War. So they are basically the same, but they're both kind of goddesses of luck and change, and I don't know. They have like this kind of, they're both kind of like chaotic good, and that's the kind of alignment I lean towards, and I just love any sort of chaos and
chaos
luck and all that good stuff. So I did make one trickery cleric for one of them. Depending on the setting, I'll change it. And then another cleric I made, so that one's the trickery cleric I made is more of a story-based cleric, but the other cleric I made is just because I like the battle mechanics of war clerics. I think that they are really fucking cool compared to other clerics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love the fucking abilities they have, like the Blessing of the War God, where you just add +10 to shit. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. That's fucking baller. But
Pike from Critical Role was a war cleric.
Yes, and she was badass.
And so was Lulin from Dragon Knights.
Yes, and he was badass, my adopted dad.
Dad, please come back and save us.
Dad, please. I know we sent you to your death, Dad, but come back, Dad. But yeah, so one story-based character and one I just like the mechanics of this type of cleric character, because generally I don't gravitate towards, like I said, religious characters, and I also don't gravitate towards spellcasters that have the full list of spells they can access, but they have to prepare. That's not my style. I just like the one list of spells I have and just fucking with that. I'm a bard player through and through. So anything I have like that, I gravitate towards. But no, I want to try and embrace, because I think there is very interesting lore out there with the gods, so I want to try and become more knowledgeable of them.
Now, whenever you want to become more knowledgeable about the gods, is there a specific pantheon that you were interested in, or a specific, like, set of gods.
Well, as a dirty, filthy Critical Role watcher, I suppose it would be the most natural for me to start with the pantheon, the kind of Don War pantheon, in quotes, that is
So,
within the Critical
so for,
Role universe.
so for those of you who are kind of lost because you tune into this without first binge watching all of Critical Role,
Which, by the way, if that's the case, how did you find us?
please tell us how you found us.
Like, comment, and subscribe. How did you get here?
The Dawn War Pantheon is something that you can find in 5th edition by not looking in the player's handbook, but looking in the Dungeon Master's Guide. In the very first chapter of the book, A World of Your Own, in subsection, The Gods of Your World, they give you like the sample gods of the Dawn War Pantheon, which pretty much god for god in the Critical Role source book, just under different names. With the exception of one god, Saren Ray, the Everlight in the Critical Role campaign setting, which comes from Pathfinder, Paizo's role-playing game. It's a pantheon that includes a lot of like non-human deities like Bahamut, like Coralon, and applies them as like universal gods. I gravitate toward that one just because it's succinct. There's not a whole lot that you have to like reach out and look for. And then most of these, at least for the villainous gods, Tiamat, Vecna, Lolth, they tend to be like pervasive across
Tharsadum.
Ooh, Tharston. Oof. About them.
Trauma.
They tend to be like pervasive across like all settings. Like no matter what game you're running, these guys can be your big bad level 20 villains. And I like that. I like not having to reach out just like, oh, here's my list of like 80 human gods, but let me pull from this like draconic pantheon. Let me pull from this elven pantheon. Let me expand it even further than that. Because I like the compactness of the Dawn of War pantheon.
Because believe you and me, there are a shit ton of gods between the 5+ editions of D&D that are out there. Oof. And other role-playing games that you might want to draw from, and real-world pantheons you might want to draw from, because D&D encourages that as well. Yeah. You want to use a Norse god, an Egyptian god, be their fucking guest. Just tie it into a domain of cleric or paladin, and you're good to fucking go. So
you can do all of that, but you and I at least tend to like gravitate towards these specific gods that we can build a narrative around, right? Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, because my only formal experience with the gods has been with a paladin of Bahamut, and sort of with a warlock of the Raven Queen. But other than that, that's been about it with my formal experiences with the gods. I don't know if this is just the kind of, like I said, the person I am, because, small tangent, whenever I play Dragon Age, I'm very anti-chantry. I'm just always that bitch is like, fuck the chantry. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a character that's pro-chantry, and then I end up going against it. So maybe that's just
Skyrim. I can never find a character who's like sides with the Nords, sides with the, because I'm not about that life. I'm really not.
Fuck you, Nords.
Well, see, I usually play Nord. It's just like Empire School. But like you have this one specific character that you have a divine focus on, or at least that you've played so far.
Yes.
Maybe there will be games in the future that you can play these other guys with, maybe in one-shots and other things in the future.
Yeah, perhaps so.
Depends on how much story narrative you want to put in that. Because I know I make characters that I like want to explore, but I don't want to like use them in a one-shot.
I kind of do both. There are some characters that I just like immediately know the story for, and I'm just like, yes, this is exactly what I want to use them for. And other characters, I'm just like, I just want to try this out. I just want to try this build out. I don't know exactly what I want to do with them, so maybe let me just plug them into whatever random shit you have going on, and let's do this. So I can go either way. But I have plenty of both kinds of characters sitting on the back burner right now, just because, I don't know, you know how writers, they'll be like in the shower, just eating dinner or something, and they'll be like, oh, I thought of a great line of my story or whatever. That's me with D&D characters. I'll be sitting there eating mashed potatoes, and I'll be like, oh, but what if I did this race in this class? It's me typing on D&D Beyond.
Oof. D&D Beyond does not sponsor this in any way. But if you want to.
Like, comment, and subscribe, D&D Beyond, if.
Now, I haven't been able to do that. In fact, I've gotten to the bottom of my list of characters that I want to play. I still have one on the back burner.
Oh, wow.
Look
at you.
But thankfully, I've been able to play in enough campaigns and one-shots that I've like reached the bottom of the ideas that I've had to play and have been busy enough to not have time to come up with any other ones. But the last character that I came up with was in fact a cleric. Cleric of the Vengeful Ones.
Yes.
Which just came from a character concept of me wanting to play a polymorphed, sentient, magical weapon.
Oh, bitch. Go off.
So in a DM's Guild Adept publication, co-written by DM's Guild Adepts like Satine Phoenix, Rudy Wittenberg, and a whole bunch of other people that are not Maze Arcana that I hope get credited right now. Sober Connor, please put all their names on the screen right now.
Title screen, real quick.
Thank you. Yeah, they included a whole bunch of like character classes and subclasses, not character classes, just subclasses, and backgrounds and magic items and everything. It's a really great supplement. Has a lot of good creative places to go, even if it's not 100% balanced for the game. One of the backgrounds is polymorphed, where it's like your adventurer was polymorphed into a different form for a
yeah, I've heard of that.
But there's a variant of that where you are a polymorphed weapon.
Oh.
Where you were a weapon for a while.
And go off.
You know what? I want to be a Hexblade, but not like a Hexblade Warlock. I want to be that Hexblade.
I want to be the blade.
Yeah, I'm like nodding furiously right now. But a wonderful friend of mine and someone that we both know and love very well, Greybeard's Tavern.
Hey, a pal.
He invited me to play with Indoor Adventures Tuesday night in a game of Dungeon World that I actually streamed on my channel.
Yes, King.
And I was able to bring that person to life in some sort for a little bit. Their name was Fred. Mm-hmm. They were a blade that I assume one of the characters found and figured, and they polymorphed into a human not too long after that and everything. I thought they were neat, but I'm not that great with clerics in Dungeon World. I'm not great at Dungeon World.
I am only good with druids in Dungeon World. Druids and Rangers, which are two classes I normally don't play in 5e, but those to me are a ton of fun in Dungeon World. Just because Dungeon World lets you go very fast and loose with what you can do.
I will say, whenever playing this character, my relationship with that god was not great because I was rolling like shit, and I 100% think it was because I had chosen on my sheet to my gods, how to petition my god was like through personal victory, and we just didn't have combat through that, and that's why my rolls were shit. There was a story element to that. Let's just go with that and not say that the dice were plotting against me. But I have played very many clerics and paladin. Well, I haven't played that many paladins, but I've played a lot of clerics.
Yeah, you definitely lean towards the religious piece in D&D.
For like a lot of characters, I try to have a religious significance, but we will talk about that. Oh, we will talk about that right after I come back from a little break.
All right, play some very holy music here.
It's going to be more Aria of the Soul.
Okay, that works too.
So, we're going to get into the religious talk in a little bit.
Yes.
Not really. We're going to talk about my characters. And their ties with religion. But our longtime listeners may have picked up by now. Cough. We never talked about what we were drinking.
No, we certainly did not.
So, Kyle with an N.
Me.
What are you drinking?
Well, our longtime listeners will be happy to know that it's not much different from what I usually drink. It's fucking rum and Coke. I'm a simple woman of simple taste. And the old tried and true dark liquor never steers me wrong.
I mean, we've been having a lot of very good experiences with rum and other liquids.
Yeah, some dairy products.
So why stop now? I don't see a good reason to.
Conno with an R.
Oh God.
What are you drinking?
I am actually drinking something very near and dear to my heart, which is not coffee.
Not the coffee, registered trademark.
It is a little thing that I was recommended and given by someone near and dear to our hearts, the Silent Band. It is gin and ginger ale.
Oh, yeah, the ginger ale. How is your... Oh, okay, he's finishing it. Chug, bitch.
Fuck shit titty cock.
Do you want to leave that in? Nope.
I was chanting some Greek letters that no one needs to know.
So how was your ginger ale?
Very good. I actually do not have any ginger ale in the house. I picked that one bottle up going to CVS earlier today.
I also bought my shit from CVS today.
Oh, same hat.
Oh, Brian Waves.
Brian Waves. You want to explain Brian Waves? Because I brought it up in chat today, but I don't think I ever explained. We never explained it.
Yeah, no. That's like an in-house inside joke between our friend group, but just... You know how whenever your friend makes a shitty typo in the group chat and you just roast them forever? That's how Brian Waves came about. So I think one time, like, 2 people probably said something at the same time at the group chat, and someone typed out, "Oh, Brian Waves," instead of brain waves. So it just fucking stuck. So anytime you see Connor or I post Brian waves somewhere on the internet, that's
You're
the
not
origin.
referencing Brian Wayne Foster.
Yes, longtime friend of the show, Brian Wayne Foster. Like, comment, and subscribe.
We're actually just like, oh my gosh, we're on the same wavelength. We have those Brian waves.
Yes, same hat.
um, you okay over there? Is your familiar getting up to stuff?
No, I just heard like someone opening the door real loud, which is probably TSB and not my cat.
I mean, we don't know. Vax did multi-class many things.
He really gets up to some shit though. Like ever since we've changed his food, and he does not have food sitting out most of the day, just because you can't keep wet food out; it's stinky. He's been a real fucking bitch about what he will do to try and get into some food. Like, he will climb up onto the countertop and try to lick dirty plates from the sink. He will, one time he somehow managed to get into a cabinet under the sink where some dry food was being kept, his old dry food, but like shut himself inside the fucking cabinet so where he was stuck. And we had like left to go buy groceries or something. So we come back like an hour and a half or like half an hour later, I guess. And like we couldn't find Vax and we hear some meowing. And we let him out and that fucking tubby wombus. He had gorged himself on dry food, and like I could feel his little stomach. He was so fucking full. He felt so chubby. That fucking bitch.
The axe.
Yeah, it's so funny because Vax is not fat at all, but all the names I call him are like Tubby Wombus, Chubs, Chubs McGubs, Tubby. I'm so mean to him.
Everything for the fat cat on Nekuatsume.
Yes. Because Vax has the mind of a fat cat. We just don't feed him enough for him to be tubby.
Oh, well, that's good. You're teaching him portion control.
Mm-hmm. Fucking bitch, though.
So, the one shot that I'm going to run on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Does need to feature a sort of like cat god. This is turning out to be a much better segue than I originally thought it would be. And I, intend to use Oketra from not a D&D setting, but like Amonkhet from Magic the Gathering, which does have a like 5th edition article on it. It's like one of the Egyptian stand-ins. I think she's supposed to like stand in for Sekhmet from Egyptian mythology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be using that guy. It's probably not gonna like have that much of a narrative weight to the adventure that I'm running, but yeah, I totally plan on pulling that in because I don't want to like bring in any other like Forgotten Realms or anything gods because I don't think there is a cat god.
Yeah.
So
now, if you want to give that cat god the personality of my cat, Vax, feel free to do so because they would be a fucking bitch.
I don't remember their actual like domain, but it might be like strength or something. I don't know. So we're gonna put it up right now, and a link to the plane shift article for Amonkhet because I know we were really excited whenever it came out. It had a lot of cool races and stuff.
Oh, Sober Connor, you do so much for us. Thank you.
But I haven't played with that many like I don't want to say like rare or special or like occult guides. I have played a couple of clerics. Actually, looking back, I can't think of a lot of them. I remember playing Evander, who was a grave cleric of the Raven Queen.
Yes.
He may have been my first cleric.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think I've played that many 5th edition characters. I certainly haven't played that many like Pathfinder or anything characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that I haven't played a lot of characters who have relations to gods.
Mm-hmm.
Evander was probably the first cleric because like Camille.cnd was introducing new people to 5th edition, and I was just like, okay, well they're probably going to need a healer. Let me play this cleric.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, this is like a realization of myself like later on, hindsight's 2020. I also was like, I was being very optimal with my character, and I wasn't really letting everyone else play their characters to like their full potential, because like I was like making sure that I was using my abilities to the betterment of the team. Everything. I wasn't really. I could have played Evander a lot better, so that those players could have had a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hindsight, but I was a very new 5th edition player. I hadn't played a lot of 5th edition up until that point.
You know, funny story. I've also played Evander.
You have also played Evander because I, in Ravenloft in the Curse of Strahd campaign, y'all really needed a good aligned cleric or paladin.
Yes.
Y'all did not have one.
We did not create the optimal party for Curse of Strahd.
But I mean, that's cool. I was thrown into this domain of dread with not a lot to go off on. If that sounds weirdly clipped and everything, it's because I opened up my phone to turn on my lights again. But I keep watching this Twitter video of this person dancing, and they are wonderful. They are living their best life. And it cut into the audio right there. And I am sorry.
God damn it, Connor.
Cool, my lights are back on. They won't be for like another minute. So you played Evander. You had the chance to play Evander, and Evander actually got the final blow on Strahd.
I did get the final blow on Strahd as Evander. Daylighted the fuck out of the motherfucker. But so that was very satisfying, because you know, vampires in D&D, there's only certain ways that you can really kill them for real, and being in daylight is one of those. So
and oof, was there daylight.
So much daylight. It was very satisfying. So yeah, I mean, I never really role played Evander per se. He was just kind of like a character I played in battle. So, because you know, I didn't want to role play him because you know, like that was your character. But so that was up to you to do.
Yeah, I role played most of your followers. Well, all of your followers. There were 3 of them. But it's actually funny. It's actually great that we landed on that topic, because it was because of the events of that Curse of Strahd campaign that led to one of my other clerics.
Yes.
So I was playing this. You and I, specifically you and I, were invited.
Specifically us two.
Yeah, it was just us. We were invited to play a special one-shot run by one of our wonderful friends on the internet, Kitty Face.
Friend of the channel, Kitty Face.
Co-social media. Well, I think she's the social media coordinator of Off the Table.
Friend of the channel, Off the Table.
And I decided to make good on one of our challenges and play a gnome.
Yes, gnomes.
I didn't really role play too much into the gnome aspect, but I
That's fine.
I did want to play a cleric, a light cleric, because I was hoping to do some like moonlight shit. Which actually, light clerics do not get access to moonlight, and let me tell you how bullshit that is.
At Jeremy Crawford at Mike Merles? Explain.
I think Mike Merles is working on a moon domain. Hopefully that actually comes to fruition.
Mike Merles, hurry.
But I was playing a god. I'm sorry, I was not playing a god. I was playing a cleric. Luna Schnee, and they were a cleric of the Huntsman,
Yeah.
who isn't a god. It was the Silence Band's character who became a like dread lord of a demi-plane of dread, a dark lord of a demi-plane of dread.
Yes.
Whenever Strahd killed him.
No, but yes.
And his character Quincy, being a werewolf who became a Dark Lord in these Dim Planes of Dreads, whenever he died, he reformed within the mists, and the area where he reformed became his demi-plane, where he, as a devout follower of the Moonweaver in his life, or a follower of the Moonweaver in his life, he was like particularly devout.
No, not particularly.
But like he had relations with that goddess. Could possibly give his followers, the people who came to his domain of dread and learned to be hunters of things that go evil in the night, completely glossing over the fact that he is a werewolf.
Awoo's in the chat.
Awoo. Yeah, they can, they have, powers bestowed upon them by a very powerful follower of the Moonweaver. So, yeah, makes sense. But the Huntsman is not a very helpful deity.
Much like Quincy wasn't a very helpful party member.
Oh, shade. The Huntsman did not guide Luna's path very well. They were not great on their roles for divinity and stuff, but it fit.
The Huntsman will guide my path. Rolls natural 1.
I feel like the Huntsman is a very dudist god. God.
Much like TSB.
TSB. I don't think I've played that many other like devout characters. There was Jaharth, who was a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 different origin stories for Jaharth. Jaharth was the very first character that I played in a live stream role-playing setting. You can find the VOD on this channel if you scroll through the RPG content playlist.
Mm-hmm.
But very good friend of both of ours, Sir Lucian of Sir Lucian Gaming.
Friend of the channel, Sir Lucian.
Eventually, I'm gonna have to like start doing something every time you say friend of the channel.
Maybe some confetti.
We'll say that for season 2.
Yes, when we have the bigger budget.
A budget of actual money.
Friend of the channels.
Money.
PayPal.
Friend of the channel. Money. Very first character that I played for Sir Lucian's channel. It was like this like subscriber to his Saturday morning D&D show thing that he was doing. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm about to start trying to do Twitch. Let me see if I can do this. And he was going to run from the Critical Role campaign guide. He wanted to do something with the Alabaster Sierras.
Mm-hmm.
That involved Tharistan, the Chained Oblivion, which we'll talk about.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Ooh, what do you call that parkour move?
That is the 360, 720, 180 Xbox PlayStation, Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, that is a name. But I didn't know anything going into that one shot except like, oh, well, it's going to be Critical Role. Well, I've read the Critical Role guide, so like I know that this takes place at this specific point in Critical Role Campaign 1. So let me make this character whose backstory is like they were a soldier for Draconia. Well, first off, I rolled shit for my stats. I had 2 positive stats. The rest of them were 6, 7s, and 8s.
Bah.
So I was like, okay, I need to make a character who only has 2 stats. Dragonborn Paladin.
LMAO.
So yeah, I tried to like min-max that. And I was like, okay, Dragonborn Paladin. I'm going to be a soldier for Draconia who fled whenever the Frigid Duke came.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to do Conquest Paladin because I think that shit sounds tight. It has a really cool narrative element. Let me do that. But, Conquest sounds kind of evil.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll follow Tiamat.
Okay, bitch.
And I think this was like before we did Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I think so.
So I was like, you know what? I'll follow that. It probably won't play like a huge role in this. Turns out the guys that you follow actually did play a huge role in this because it was like we were before the end of the calamity and like we were going to be on the side of the knowing mistress and fighting to seal the chained oblivion with all these like special swords granted to us. So I was just like, okay, let me rework this entire backstory in like this live stream session 0 that we were doing, which I probably should have not been so setting specific for it anyway. I don't know. So I was just like, okay, sure, he'll be a paladin of Bahamut. It's actually in this live stream that I met Indoor Adventurer and Greybeard's Tavern and LB Hack 'em Up and PB Plays Inside.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was specifically those 4 players.
They were all playing in that live stream? I couldn't even remember that. Wow. Friends of the channel.
Like legitimate friends of the channel. PB Plays Inside, Greybeard's Tavern, LB Hack 'em Up, and Indoor Adventurer.
Confetti.
Damn. So yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm like this Conquest Paladin and everything. I probably should be following this like evil god, but like doing it for good reasons. No. Let's be out of heroes. Let's flip that over to Bahamut real quick. I'm still like conquering and everything, like strength above all, take no prisoners, and rule with
Bahamut.
But for Bahamut.
I mean, Bahamut is kind of a glory conquest kind of god if you play it.
Definitely like justice domain.
If you play it straight. If you play the way... Now, TSB, for my pilot of Bahamut, he plays Bahamut a little bit differently. He plays him a little more as a kindly old man, but, if you play it straight by the source material, then Bahamut is kind of for glory and honor, conquest type shit. I can see it.
Makes sense for a Platinum Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll flex on you.
He'll do some weird flex, but okay.
But yeah, I didn't have a like strong tie to the god because I did that like last minute flip, and then it turns out we were like fighting alongside the knowing mistress, and like this place where this battle happened was supposed to be like, oh well, the knowing mistress got wounded. I need these followers to like keep spreading her word and everything, her domain, to make sure she lives on. I've tried to bring Jaharth back for other things, like Jaharth was the tavern owner for Amon Dragon Heist.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Little home game.
That's why that sounds so fucking familiar.
But yeah, I haven't really revisited him. I was gonna bring him back for a one shot that we were gonna do again on Solutions channel, just because I rolled shit for stats again.
Oh.
In a game that we were supposed to play with Jordan with the Silent PH. Again, cool dude, great lore videos. Check him out.
Friend of the channel.
Actual friend of the channel. But yeah, never really revisited that character. I don't think I've actually done that many more clerics.
Wow. So we're not very religious D&D players, are we?
Nah. I have done other characters who have relations to gods
Mm-hmm.
to foil your Bahamut paladin. I like Tiamat.
You do. Which, by the way, I am wearing my Archon the Cruel Tiamat shirt.
Ooh.
Coincidentally.
I have a character who is a foil to your Bahamut paladin.
Yes.
Who has a relationship with Tiamat.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rogar. We are raising a son together.
We are. We're co-parents.
And he hasn't had a lot of conversation with Tiamat. In fact, he's only had like the one conversation, which was save this dragon egg. Protect her again. And he's like tried to contact her again, but just keeps rolling like shit on his religion checks, which is probably good. Because
good.
Tiamat is the big bad evil guy of this particular campaign.
Tiamat's a 5-headed bitch.
Excuse you.
I will not be excused.
Rogar just has this relationship with Bahamut that is not great.
Mm-hmm.
And as a Dragonborn, he doesn't have that many gods to choose from just because he does lean toward that Draconic Pantheon. He doesn't think Tiamat... Well, he didn't think that Tiamat was, like, good. But, like, his only relationship with her, and he's actually talked to our Black Dragon son about this, he might have feelings about it, is that the only thing Tiamat ever said to him is, protect this dragon egg, this kid who hasn't been born yet.
But he's now born.
But I'm now born.
He's a big boy.
But he's actually like tried to get in contact with her after that. He just isn't strong enough to penetrate, into the Nine Hells to like.
Not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate.
It's a word. There are many words here that are probably not the best ones to be used. Fuck, shit, titty cock are 4 of them.
Oh, God. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Fuck, tick, bitty talk.
Like, comment, subscribe.
No. I have to use this pun. Like and subscribe.
Let's about it.
Where were we? We're at
Oh,
the point of the episode, bitches.
You were talking about
Tiamat.
Rogar and Tiamat, yeah.
Well, so, first off, whenever I first picked up the module, I was like, this is stupid. Why the fuck would so many people dedicate themselves to this obviously evil god who is just gonna, like, raise dragons to the top of the food chain, which means everybody's gonna get eaten the fuck.
Yes.
Cut to, like, a year later, me, my bitch ass, Yes, Tiamat.
Yes,
Save
queen.
Mama.
Yes, queen, 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 and queen.
Yes. Uh, I I like her. Like, I feel like dragons deserve that, like, that matriarch. And I don't know. You're always gonna have people who are like sold on avarice and having wealth being power and everything. So I get it. Um, the way I keep thinking of her is this like sed- sort of seductive, just like, yes, you are my children. Spread all this like destruction and everything because you deserve to be at the top of the food chain. You deserve all this wealth and power.
No, I'm
So,
so funny. I get way too into character. So like if one of my characters is so against like something, it'll affect my perception of them anytime I hear about them anywhere, basically.
mm-hmm.
So my character is Paladin Bahamut, who, as a former gold dragon, has like a very personal vendetta against Tiamat. So now whenever I see Tiamat in anything ever, I'm just like, ooh, boo, that bitch, I can't stand her.
Well, see, I'm lucky because like before we did all this, we had a wonderful um, paladin of Tiamat show up in a work of fiction that we both enjoy. Actually, a couple of them, and you've actually met him.
Oh, I didn't get to meet
Oh,
Joe.
you didn't get to meet him. Okay,
TSB got to meet Joe.
but you got to watch him live.
I did. And I got this t-shirt for free because I watched him live.
I bought two. I bought a small and a medium because I thought that I was going to be able to get gains at some point and still be able to rep it. I was wrong. So I am still a small man who does not fit in a medium t-shirt.
Oh.
Repping my lady Tiamat. Yes, God.
Yes, God.
But I mean, whenever Archon the Cruel, Joe Manganiello's 5th edition character, who made appearances on such things such as
Stream Many Eyes.
Yeah, he was on Stream Many Eyes.
Critical Role.
He was on Celebrity D&D.
Yeah.
And 4th grade.
Yeah.
City of Omu, which you and TSB were able to watch the finale live.
Oh my God, yes, we did. Second row, baby.
But like when most people know that particular character from his like 2 episodes of Critical Role. And I don't know, whenever he popped on the scene, like even though he was Paladin of Tiamat, I don't think any of us ever thought that he was anything but on their side.
Oh, I mean, it was, I don't know. I was definitely blindsided by big fat season 1 spoilers. Spoiler warning. Turn back now. Yeah, I mean, like, even though, like, I think initially I was a little sus, like, hey, what are you doing here? But, like, it had been, like, so long. It was so helpful. By the time he fucking, that dramatic moment of him, like, yeah, I raise up the axe, and then I chop my own hand off and slap on the hand of Vecna, and just like, it's just business, and he yeets out of there. I was, for one, shook.
I was so shook because like whenever he showed up on screen, like 2 episodes earlier, I was like, this is weird. But I feel like at this point, everything is at so much of a head that like I feel like they're subverting the evil paladin thing by just like, I'm here. Yes, I follow an evil god. I am here to help.
My evil is less evil than your evil.
enemy of my enemy. Like, I felt like that's what they were going for. And they were. It was just business.
Yeah.
Now that Vecna could, like, teleport an entire city, he took what he could, which was the Hand of Vecna, so that he could try to do what every person who is, like, fully invested in Tiamat wants to do, which is free her. Bring her.
God, I hope. I've been hoping since the end of campaign 1 that we would see Archon again in campaign 2 later down the line, especially that we have some hints of a dragon cult with, Kaliana's character and her backstory. God, I hope to God we see Archon again. And some PvP action.
I don't know. Did you finish the Stream Many Eyes Jox Machina thing?
No, I didn't. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Neither have I. So I feel like there's like lore there that I should probably finish before I do what I really, really want to, which is run Tyranny of Dragons.
Yes.
In Tal'Dorei.
Yes, King. Yes, King Tal'Dorei.
Because it will include Archon the Cruel.
Fittingly so.
Yeah, it has to, because, like, I'm not going to giant spoiler Tyranny of Dragons, because we're still playing through that. But I have read some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know where it ends, at least. Archon would need to make an appearance.
Of course. Of course, of course.
But yeah, I would love to do that. But I am a big fat Tiamat apologist.
No, don't do this to yourself.
Tiamat did nothing wrong. She deserves the prime material plane.
Tiamat did 5 things wrong.
And they were all ancient dragons. I'm sorry, what? Tiamat fucks, by the way.
Tiamat fucks.
To get back to the beginning of the stream, search on Pornhub for Tiamat. Don't.
Search on Cornhub for
popcorn.
Friend of the show, Corn.
But like the metal band.
Yes. Yes, the metal band, Brian Waves.
Shit, where were we? Blake.
Balake.
Blake does not know the Tiamat exists.
Oh.
But Blake, my character on our Monday night games on twitch.tv/Indoor Adventurer. The Indoor
Friend of the show.
Great friend of the show, the Indoor Adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has a relationship with Tiamat.
Probably.
In fact, my very first concept for the character was I want to make a warlock of Tiamat, but I've been playing a lot of warlocks. I want to make a blood hunter, Pact of the Profane Soul, Pact of Tiamat. Well, I actually did say hey, I want my pact to be with Tiamat, and it's just Andor came back well, I think it would be really cool to have it with a lieutenant of Tiamat. So,
Pact of Dragon Dad?
Pact of Dragon Dad. Which is actually funny because my very first thing with Isabel, I didn't want her warlock patron to be something that she knew about. I just said the Silver Light.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that we were playing a game called Dragon Knights, so I'm I don't know if it's an ancient silver dragon. I don't know if this is actually Bahamut. I'm just hey, you know what? There's a silver light. It said that it wanted to protect her family. She has powers now, and she has a little silver dragon.
Yeah, well, PR has a great way of taking your backstories and just fucking you over with them. Friend of the show, Pro Restarter.
And boy, let me tell you about the use of my backstory. Let's talk about it for another episode. We're talking about gods.
All right.
Uh,
I was about to say, speaking of fucking over. But please, let's continue.
Blake was created by the Cold Tiamat.
Ooh, tea.
But he doesn't know about any of it. I'm sure it's going to show up very soon. But in the one shot that I'm running on Monday, Blake has twin daughters, and I'm not sure how those came about.
Where did you come from?
I don't know if Blake can reproduce.
But, well, you know, with his 2 dragon.
With his 2 dragon fuck shit titty cocks.
No, it's not better if the expletive is worse.
This is our brand. We censor everything with things that are worse. Oh, you say fuck shit titty cock? Well, let me preface that with a fuck shit titty cock.
Let's up the ante. Yeah, so two baby Blake daughters.
We got 2 baby Blake daughters. I don't know what gods they worship. It's a druid and a wizard. So probably not the same gods that Blake worships. If Blake worships any. But actually, out of the original 4 keeps, Blake is the only one who does not worship a god.
Oh, interesting.
Because we have a paladin and a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Our barbarian worships the god of strength. I think it's Talos.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. It's either Talos or Storm. I'm not sure.
Interessante.
But I made that backstory point like he was created by the cult of Tiamat or whatever. Maybe that'll come up. Right now he's been talking to his dragon dad. He hasn't mentioned Tiamat. He probably doesn't worship Tiamat.
We'll see.
We will see.
We will see.
But I don't think I've made any other clerics. That's not true. That is true. See, I did make a Tabaxi nature cleric for a one-shot in one of my home games. That's in a very, very homebrew world, where like all the like gods and everything were just like ancient people with very advanced technology and everything. You know,
yeah,
they are basically gods.
Mm-hmm.
But not really. I have one more thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But whenever we actually got there, there was a druid, a cleric, actually 2 druids and a cleric, and I didn't want to jump on that with another cleric, so I was just like, I'm going to pivot over to ranger real quick, and I was playing a Tabaxi ranger, which you can flex on some people with that, with your speed. If you stack on Zephyr Strike and the Tabaxi dash, like,
yes, God,
you can go off. And I may have flexed on them just a little bit. Another reason why I just really don't like playing optimal builds. Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like flexing on other players is fun.
Yeah.
I have a character who has died and been retired, Jason.
R.I.P.
Who has become a sort of... He came back for a little bit, but he was like this disembodied consciousness who my DM, this is the same campaign as the Tabaxi Cleric. Uh, the DM was shaping to be like one of the first, what would eventually be known as gods in this world. The character that I'm playing right now is someone who has been exposed to this entity, who just exists in the desert of this world. Very aligned with narcotics and hallucinogens. And I've been playing it up like this character, who is a level 5 ranger and a level 8 druid, does not know that he has access to magical powers. He gets high. Jason, the former character, now disembodied entity, and weaved himself in this biome of the desert. Has granted this person access to powers, but this person only really manifests them whenever he accesses a part of his mind that only really comes naturally whenever he's tripping balls.
Like Jason was.
Like Jason was. Jason had access to a lot of things. Like a second action surge. Those were words that were very hard to get out of my mouth.
Alcohol. Friend of the show, alcohol.
Alcohol.
Sponsor of the show, alcohol.
Truly. Yeah. He is wild shaped. He does not know that that is a thing that he can do. He can talk to plants. He is aware that that is a thing that he can do whenever he smokes this particular plant.
Damn.
He really hasn't had anybody around to do that, but now he actually has a party who do know that they can do magic. So I'm very excited to see how they tell him, like, no, you can do all of this. How did you figure out how to do that? Because magic is very new in this world.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know that my former character, Jason, is still around and is 100% the patron of his powers, but like, I don't even know what Jason's doing right now. I'm thinking he's gone feral, but we'll see that later, maybe. I don't know.
Let's see about that.
We're about to take a bit of a hiatus with that game because we're about to enter the holiday seasons here.
Oof.
Which means we're also going to have to take a little hiatus with this podcast.
Yeah, but for good reasons, because my personal holiday schedule is going back to my homelands and being able to see all my family and friends. Yeah. So this is a very exciting time for me coming up this holiday season. It's something that I look forward to. So because of that, I will be prioritizing hanging out with family and friends over doing internet things.
Yeah.
Which, is a little sad, but at the same time, I'm very happy to be doing this.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think that is a great narrative and conversational point to end off on.
Yes, I believe so.
So, as always, you can keep up with the games that we're doing right now on twitch.tv/perrestarter and twitch.tv/the Indoor Adventurer, with maybe one or two games in on twitch.tv/Cybrwulf1201, or maybe, I don't know, follow us on Twitter at Cybrwulf1201, at KyleWithAnN, to figure out what we're doing and where we're doing it, and when we're doing it.
And why we're doing it.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Because it's fun.
Yeah, bitch.
There. All right. And with that, we will end this episode, maybe? Yeah.
Yes. Have happy holidays and good times, and perhaps we will see you in 2019, maybe sooner. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. Where the fuck is my mouse? There it is. And with that, we bid you all
Bye.
Bye, BBs. Get your wolf-shaped dildos from Kylen.